Hi everyone, today I'm doing my little Silent Night card, and this has fabric in it. This is an organza fabric and I'm using that to decorate the ball. So let's just get started. It's got some interesting features to this card. First of all, I've used 3 different dies. I've used a circle die that's approximately 7 centimeters diameter. I've used this Silent Night die, and it cuts out like that, but then I'm going to cut the words apart so that they will fit onto the card. And then I've used this die with 3 different size fir tree leaves, and I've done them in different, now I could use that side or that side, different coloured papers. So I've got 3 different coloured papers there just to make this a little bit more interesting, hanging down from the bottom. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, and before I forget, if you go on to Cardmaking with Judy Facebook group and go into the file, you'll find the fabric insert Christmas bauble card instructions with all the measurements and the written instructions. And if you're a teacher, you have my permission to use this. Okay? Go for your life. Now, what we've got here is an A5 piece of paper, cardstock, and we fold that in half first. Then we have a piece of foil cardstock, and that is 10 by 14.4, and we tape that to the front of the card. And we have another one, 10 14.4 in white, and we're going to tape that to the inside of the card so that you've got something nice to write on. So I'll do that first quickly. Now that we've got those 2 ready, I'll put that aside, and we're going to add the bauble. So what I've done is I've taken this die and I've put it roughly in the center of this piece of paper and cut it and removed the hole in the middle. Now what we're going to do is take some thin, narrow, very narrow tape. I need it that narrow because it needs to be narrower than the ribbon that I'm going to stick to it. And we put that piece of tape in the middle at the top of the bauble like that, and wrap it around the back on either side. And peel it off. Now that we've got that across there, we add the ribbon directly on top of the tape and tape it to the back. Cut off any excess you've got, or you could actually leave that there, because now what we're going to do is we're going to add tape all the way around the edge here. You can glue this, but it could get a bit messy. Now this is at the back. Remember, that's the front. This is the back that we're doing this on. Peel that up. And then get your fabric. Now this fabric's double-sided. It's actually smooth on the back and rough on the front. So you put the front of the fabric towards the front of the card, and you put that over the top of the hole, stretch it out and make sure it's taped on. It's not going to move. Once it's taped on, you just cut off any excess fabric that's sticking over the edge of your card front. Make sure there's none sticking out. You can't see any excess. Then turn this over the back again. You might want to cut off a little bit of extra underneath as well if you think you got too much there. Anything that's not glued down you might want to pull up and cut. Okay, now what you're going to do is put tape over the whole back again, around the edges and on top of the fabric. So take it over the top of the fabric and onto the paper underneath, or the cardstock underneath. You really want this to stick, so put it down as best you can. Make sure that that's, you know, that's sticking up a little bit. So I'm going to put an extra bit there, and I might add an extra bit over here too, just so that it just keeps it nice and firm and not wrinkly. Now you just peel all your backing off. Now that all the tape is on that, the back of that bauble, you just position this other piece of paper, which is cardstock, which is exactly the same size, straight over the top. Now what this does is actually gives you a nice white background for the bauble. It holds the ribbon on as well as holding the fabric on. Now what we can do is actually glue this or tape this to the front of the card. So I'll just quickly do that. Now we get to put the pretties on. So all these three flowers, leaves, all these three leaves we cut in half. Small, medium and large. And I have quite a large piece of I have some glue here, and I'm just going to put a little bit on here. Oh, quite a lot on here. Don't need that much, but anyway. And I'm going to just use my little pointy tool to put glue on the end, just on the end only of the leaf, and so that it sticks to the paper at the bottom of the ribbon. And I start with the largest one first. Have it coming out either side. Now the medium size one next, and I have it coming down a little bit further at a sharper angle. And the small one is that, and then the small one I only now that one's no good to me now that I've wrecked it. I'll use this one. The small one, we only use one, and we put it in the middle there, coming down in the middle like that. and we leave them to dry beautifully. Now while we're allowing them to dry, you need to be cutting out your Silent Night, and what I did is I cut it to separate it, and the night, we've got some bits that don't fit now that we've cut all that other off, so we need to sort that out. So after you've cut all that, you can then glue your Silent Night onto the front of your card also, just touching the wider sections of the word, not every little piece. There's our Silent Night, and what you can do is I've got two sizes in some rhinestones in red, which I stick to the top. And I have a whole lot of little gold and silver. Now on the first one, I stuck the gold and silver all around the edges. On this one, I'm going to put the gold on the bauble instead. Now I need one in there and maybe one up there, and there's our little baubles on there. And then these ones, and space them around the card. Here we are, what I've done. And as you can see, white on the inside to write on. And here's what the first card looks like. Slightly different, but still just as pretty. Hope you enjoyed that. Bye for now.